All right, so in this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly why I prefer to use Assistable AI instead of GoHighLevel's AI. Now, don't get me wrong. I love GoHighLevel. I've been using it for years. I implement it for all my clients. For you guys that don't know anything about GoHighLevel, it's essentially just a CRM system that does a bunch of amazing things, automations and landing pages and a bunch of other stuff. But I'm going to be focusing this video specifically about the AI feature and why Assistable AI is better. So with Assistable AI, it's an app that you can actually install on GoHighLevel, and it works really well together. For this example, I'm going to show you guys a live demo and you could see firsthand what makes it better. So for this demo, it's going to be for a local pool company. Now, I didn't use an actual live customer, one of my clients' account, just because there's a lot of personal information. And also all the notifications are set up. I'm going to pretend here I'm a customer and I need my pool light fixed. So I just created a customer here, Johnny Cash. Here's the message. Hey, my pool light is broken and I need someone to come fix it ASAP. There's the message. Oh, completely forgot. The way Assistable AI works is you associate a tag. So once someone has that tag on, then the AI would work. For people that don't know what GoHighLevel is, you might be really confused, but you can associate tags through automations. So when someone comes through the pipeline, you have to add that tag. Now, again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, this video is probably not for you. It's going to be a little bit more on the advanced side. Anyways, so there we go. Now the AI is working. I can help with that. Could you please provide your full name and address where the pool is located? Also, do you know the model of the pool light and when it stopped working? So I'm just going to give a random address here. Copy. So this took 1.9 seconds to respond to. So this is the address and my name is Johnny Cash. Okay, so it's analyzing the response. So now what's happening, it updated the user's details and it's also calculating distance. So these are all different tools that Assistable AI does. That's super easy to inject. Before I continue with the live demo, I just want to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so let me go over the three main limitations that GoHighLevel has. And again, I'm going to continue with the live demo. Let me just explain to you some of the limitations so you understand kind of what's happening on the Assistable side. So one big limitation is the calendar. So with GoHighLevel, you can only associate one calendar per AI, which could be very hard to do if if one of your clients is a lot more complex and advanced and maybe a little bit of a larger company where you need to actually allocate different calendars for different services, right? So one thing that's amazing with the Assistable AI is you can just with one prompt and one AI, you can allocate as many calendars as you want. So the AI will determine what the customer needs and allocate that person to the correct calendar, which is incredible. Whereas GoHighLevel side, it's very complex to do that with all the different workflows and automation. It can be a nightmare. The next thing is summary and task. With Assistable AI, within just one tool, you could associate a summary tool. So for the example that I'm showing you guys, it's all SMS. So it'll summarize the entire conversation that I just had once it determined that the conversation is ended, right? With GoHighLevel, I think it says if the user doesn't respond within X minutes, create a summary. This will know that the conversation is done and create a summary, which is really great. And it'll also determine if a task is needed. So say it's having a conversation with the customer and then it determines that a task needs to be created and a pool technician or whatever, someone needs to get actually involved, it'll create a task automatically. And the last thing here that I find very powerful is the custom value. So it'll update fields, not only if it's empty, but say it already has information in it and it needs to update that field, it'll go ahead and do that. Whereas GoHighLevel, I might be wrong by saying this, but I think it only updates, the AI will only update fields if it's empty, and it won't override fields, which is really important because people's information change. They may even give the incorrect information and they want to update it, right? So AI will do it all for them. The ability to install tools with ease. So on the Assistable side, you can attach a crazy amount of tools and custom tools that you can build in like seconds. For instance, calculate distance is a tool that you add where it pretty much says, okay, this is my store. This is where I'm located. The customer's at this address. Let's see if they're within our service area. So that's exactly what it did here. Thanks, Johnny. You're within our service area. Could you please provide the model of the pool light and when it stopped working? So model is 5000 ultra upright and it stopped working 2 weeks ago. Okay. And update user details. Refresh this page. Look, street, it added the street, city, country, this, that, right? So I responded with this, creating a task, right? So now if I go under tasks, says here, Johnny Cash needs a pool light repair model 5000 ultra bright, stopped working 2 weeks ago. This is the address, awaiting photos for further assessment. It created a task all automatically. So now a task is created. You could do a bunch of different things with that task and send that notification to your client to let them know that they need to follow up with this. But look at this. I've created a task for a team to handle their pool. Please upload the photos here. So with the photos, I just created essentially a form and I associated a custom value to that URL. So as you can see here, like this is the landing page, and then I associated a phone number to that URL. So now anytime someone goes to this page, the form is already associated with this contact, which is actually super powerful. So all they have to do is upload a photo. So let me just upload a photo so you can see what I'm talking about. You can see here, if I go to documents, this photo here, it's associated to that contact. All I have to do is upload the photo. I didn't have to write like any other information. Perfect. Great. Thanks for uploading the photo. The team will review and reach it back to you to arrange a repair. If you have any questions, let me know. So one thing I want to show you guys with the update the contact information. So see this address. Oops, my address is 242 and not 240. So watch this. Update user details. I've updated the address 242. So it knew that this was the previous address name. It like told that to the customer and updated the 242. So you can see here that update user details, that's what happened. So if I hit refresh here, this would be embarrassing if it didn't work. So as you can see here, 242, it updated it, which is pretty awesome. It's great, thanks. You're all set, Johnny. I've noted everything down and the team will be in touch. Have a fantastic day. Address is updated here automatically. Let's just do a little refresh here. And then check this out. One thing that's absolutely so cool about this is the summary. So in the notes, it added, here's a recap of Johnny Cash's conversation with the AI. Johnny Cash requested pool light repair, address. It created the summary once it realized the whole conversation was done. This is the address, model, 5000 ultra bright, stopped working 2 weeks ago, photos uploaded for assessment. So what makes this really powerful is now as like a pool technician coming into here, I just go to my notes, instead of having to read the whole conversation, everything's summarized here for them. And what I like to do as well, since this is a custom value, AI conversation summary, I can attach this into emails, into SMS notifications to my clients, so they get a full summary of what just happened in that conversation and what needs to be done. And then when it comes to what needs to be done, I also send the task too. Essentially, what I want to show you guys is what the prompting actually looks like in the back end. All right, actually, hold on. Before I show you that, let me just show you the update user details, send AI conversation summary. You can see the tool got activated and then removed from follow-up. It realized the conversation is done, so it's going to stop following up with that person. So now let me show you the actual prompting. Also, the link to Access Assistable AI is going to be in the description of this video. Now, if you use my link, of course, I don't mind helping you out and getting you set up. There's a lot of sauce in the prompting, and one thing that's kind of difficult and a bit of a learning curve when it comes to Assistable AI, it's all prompt based. It's easy in hindsight, but the thing is you need to ensure that when in your prompt, it needs to be short and sweet. And also you need to, for instance, it's like the pool evaluation, this is going to be calendar ID X. So you need to update the X here. So check this out. Contact info handling, always update via update_user_details. So what this is meaning is in the tools, right? If I come into the tools, yes. So this one, for instance, you have to know that in order to tool call this tool, which is update user details, you need to say like update_user_details. So this stuff's a little bit finicky. And again, if you use my link, I don't mind helping you and showing you guys how it all works. Like here's some important notes, response guidelines, personality traits. These are all things that like with testing and learning and tweaking, this is kind of what I've landed on as kind of being the most optimal. So for instance, call tool, calculate_distance, right? So under tools, if I go under custom, so this one's added. So use this tool to calculate the distance between your address and the user's address, right? So you can add a bunch of custom tools in here, which is pretty awesome. So the calculate distance, the only custom tool I use, you could scrape websites. You could have it search the web. So searches the web and return search engine answers to a query, creates a task. So just by going add assistant, boom, now it'll start creating tasks. Create notes. So allow the AI to write contact notes in the CRM, which is what I just showed you guys. Book appointments, allow the AI to book appointments, update appointment details. You can even do extraction. So essentially updating updating actual custom values. And you can literally do any custom value in here and update it and have it update that field. You could also have it add tags in your prompting if it says like, someone's interested in a heater pump, right? So you ask the questions that it needs. Once the AI knows that it's in under heater pump, you come here and say add tag, call tool, and say you name that tool like tag heater, for instance. Once it's in here, it's going to go ahead and add this tag, right? So it's very, very powerful stuff that you can do here because, as you know, for people who use GoHighLevel, if you have the tag heater, you could do it so that if someone gets the tag heater, it goes under a workflow automation and specific things trigger, right? So those are just things to keep in mind. And I don't know if I mentioned this already, but Assistable AI does voice, inbound, outbound, and SMS or inbound, outbound. The example I just showed you guys was just for the SMS. You can add literally as many calendars as you need, which is amazing. So if say I come into here and, this is for a new build calendar, right? All you have to do is write new build calendar X. So then once it goes under, this is one service, 3B pool service, 3C remodeling. Say I come here and I go like this and I call this 3D new build, right? I want it to be like a 10-mile radius, or maybe this one's bigger because it's a new build, you make more money. Confirm, full name, email, address, budget in mind, ask like rough start date, ask to book into calendar XID, confirm date and time, and then finally book into calendar. So essentially something like this. I mean, I kind of just did this rough. So once it does this, it now goes to the next thing. So number 4, call tool, send AI coverage summary, and then end warmly. Say, thank you, you've been booked, blah, 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 blah. And then when it books into this calendar, all the other GoHighLevel automations will kick in. Assistable AI is very powerful once you actually have it with GoHighLevel, but I'm pretty sure Assistable AI is trying to also work without GoHighLevel. I'm not too sure how that works. The examples I'm showing you here are mainly with having GoHighLevel as a main CRM system. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are kind of the main reasons why I like the Assistable AI better. Don't get me wrong, GoHighLevel AI definitely works and it has its perks, especially if, you're working with like a local business that maybe just has one calendar, and it's just kind of like, it's not too big of a company, then GoHighLevel AI would work really well. But if it's more of a complex type of business, Assistable AI is definitely the way to go. A lot of success with Assistable AI. And the team is cool. They have a school group and it's a big community and it's growing. If you have any questions whatsoever, leave a comment down below and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.